Hello! I'm going to be telling you what you should and shouldn't bring to college, as in there might be something that is sort of bulky and big. You shouldn't bring that. But instead, you should bring something like smaller or better that does the same job as the big bulky thing, but takes up less room in your dorm or just does the job better or is just better for college in general. So let's get started. I'm going to be calling this a do-don't list, as in what you shouldn't bring, the don't, versus what you should bring, which is the do. I have 12 different things on this list, 6 do's, 6 don'ts. And I will start out with the first one, and the first don't is don't bring an ironing board and an iron, and instead do bring a steamer. You can get those like small mini ironing boards and you can get sort of smaller irons. You could do that. That is a possibility for you. But that is really a big pain to store in your dorm, and it's even bigger of a pain to get it out and iron your clothes whenever you need to. But instead, if you use a steamer, all you have to do is fill it up with a little bit of water, let it heat up for a couple of minutes, hang up your clothing on your closet door or something, and then just steam the wrinkles out of it. It does a really good job. It's faster, it's easier, it takes up a whole lot less space. I didn't bother with an ironing board or an iron back in my dorm, and I'm not going to this next upcoming year in my apartment. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. Steamers are much easier and smaller. Number 2 is don't bring your entire wardrobe slash just closet collection of clothing. Do bring some basic things that you're going to need and seasonal wardrobes. What I mean by this is you're probably going to be going home at some point during the semester. Say going home for Thanksgiving and Christmas in the fall, going home for spring break in the spring. When you go home during the year, that's a really good opportunity for you to take clothing with you up to school and back home. So when you initially go up to school in the fall, it's probably still going to be pretty warm because you're probably going to be leaving in August, and you're going to want to bring a smaller amount of summer clothes, but mostly like fall-based clothing. So bring all the fall clothes that you want to bring, and don't worry so much about summer or winter clothes. And then when you go home for Thanksgiving break, you can take all of your summer clothes back that you don't need anymore, and then take from home up to your dorm the winter clothes that you need. Do you know what I mean? Just like plan out what you're gonna need, like according to when you're gonna go home and what you're gonna need it, so that way you don't have your entire closet in your dorm, and instead you sort of take what you need when you need it. You know what I'm saying? Number 3 is don't bring a TV, and do bring a laptop. There are some cases where you are gonna need to bring a TV if you're a really big gamer but you're not a PC gamer. Instead you bring like your Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, and you have to hook that up to a TV. I get that. But if you're not a gamer or you game on your PC or laptop or whatever, then you just need your laptop. And for TV wise, unless you watch cable, which I really don't actually know that many people that watch cable anymore, most people stick to sort of online streaming, you can use your laptop to stream online. All I did my freshman year is I watched Netflix and YouTube for entertainment. I did not need a television. So unless you really like cable or you are a big gamer with your Xbox, PlayStations, whatever, I recommend just sticking with a laptop. It takes up less space, you're gonna need it anyway as a school supply, and you can use it for any sort of online streaming that you need. You don't need a TV for that. Number 4 is don't bring all of your school supplies or the school supplies you could possibly think you need, and instead bring only what I talked about in one of my last videos, and the actual school supplies you need for college. And instead of going into every single school supply I listed in that video, you can just watch it, and I'll put a link at the top of the screen, in the description, and at the end of the video. Number 5, the next 2 things. Don't bring trinket type decoration stuff, and instead bring wall art type decorations if you are planning to decorate your dorm. And again, I talked about this in one of my last videos. It might have actually been my last video about how to decorate your dorm on a budget. And I did explain my reasoning in that for not bothering with trinkets and smaller sort of like desk ornament type things, and instead sticking to wall art. And essentially it's just because they take up a lot of extra space, they don't serve a purpose, they collect dust and just clutter up your room. Where wall art makes your room look bigger, it makes your walls look nicer, it doesn't take up any unnecessary room, and it just makes your dorm look cute, and it's a nice thing to have if you're planning to decorate your dorm in any way. But if you want to see a further more detailed description about that, I will also link that video above me and in the description box. And lastly, number 6, the last 2 do's and don'ts. Don't bring a lot of nice utensils and plates and bowls and all of that kind of stuff, and instead do bring plastic utensils and plates and bowls and such. Believe me, you are not going to want to do your dishes if you're living in a dorm situation unless you have one of those dorms that have a kitchen into it that you share with like 8 other girls. But even then, you're probably still not going to want to deal with dishes and utensils and stuff like that all the time. But if you just buy like a bunch of plastic spoons and forks and paper plates and maybe bring 1 or 2 actual bowls or something, that's gonna be a lot better for you, a lot easier. You're just gonna be able to throw away anything after you used it, and you don't have to worry about cluttering up your sink or doing dishes or anything. It is much, much easier with a dorm lifestyle. That is it for my 12 do's and don'ts of what to bring to a dorm or small tiny apartment, just depending on where you're gonna be living in college. Obviously, if you wanted to bring any of the things I said don't bring, that's your decision. You do you. I'm just telling you from my experience what I think is best. Just going off of what I know and what I did. I hope this video was helpful for you. Give it a like if it was. Leave a comment if you want. Subscribe to me if you choose to. I put out new videos every single Friday, mostly of the college sort. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.